Seychelles, an archipelago of 115 islands in the Indian Ocean, has a unique history shaped by its late human settlement, European colonization, slavery, and eventual independence. Unlike many other African nations, Seychelles was uninhabited until the 18th century, when European powers began to compete for control over the strategically located islands. Today, Seychelles is known for its political stability, economic development, and environmental conservation. This article explores the historical evolution of Seychelles from its discovery to the present day, early history and European discovery before 1750s. Unlike most other African nations, Seychelles had no indigenous population before the arrival of Europeans. The first recorded sighting of the islands was by Arab traders navigating the Indian Ocean, but they did not establish permanent settlements. The first Europeans to document the islands were the Portuguese in the early 16th century. The famous Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama passed through the region in 1502 and named the islands the Admiral Islands. However, the Portuguese never settled there. The islands remained largely untouched until the 18th century. French colonization and the plantation economy, 1756-1814. The first major European claim over Seychelles came in 1756, when the French officially took possession of the islands. A French expedition led by Nicolas Morphy placed a stone on Mahé, the largest island, and named the archipelago after Jean Moreau de Seychelles, the French finance minister at the time. French settlers arrived in the 1770s, bringing African slaves to work on plantations. The economy was based on agriculture, mainly producing cotton, sugarcane, and spices. The islands became a key stop for ships traveling between Africa and Asia. Despite its isolation, Seychelles was affected by global conflicts. During the Napoleonic Wars 1803-1815, the British, who were at war with France, sought to take control of the Indian Ocean trade routes. British rule and the abolition of slavery, 1814-1976. In 1814, after the defeat of Napoleon, Seychelles was officially handed over to British control under the Treaty of Paris. However, the British largely allowed French customs, language, and plantation systems to continue. A major turning point in Seychelles' history was the abolition of slavery in 1835. The economy, heavily dependent on slave labor, suffered as freed slaves left plantations. To replace them, the British introduced indentured laborers from India, shaping the island's multicultural society. Throughout the 19th and early 20th centuries, Seychelles remained a quiet colonial outpost, used mainly for agriculture, fishing, and as a supply station for ships. The population grew slowly, with African, French, Indian, and Chinese influences blending to create the unique Seychellois Creole culture. In the early 20th century, political consciousness grew, and labor unions emerged to demand better working conditions. However, direct political movements remained limited due to British colonial rule. Path to independence, 1940s-1976. The demand for greater autonomy intensified after World War II. In the 1940s and 1950s, Seychellois political movements formed, advocating for workers' rights and local governance. The two dominant political parties were the Seychelles People's United Party SPUP, led by France Albert René. It advocated for socialism and full independence. The Seychelles Democratic Party SDP, led by James Mancham. It favored closer ties with Britain and a market-driven economy. In 1975, Seychelles gained self-government, and the following year, on June 29, 1976, the country achieved full independence from Britain, with James Mancham becoming the first president. Post-independence political changes 1976-1990s. Shortly after independence in 1977, France Albert René led a coup d'état while Mancham was abroad. René established a one-party socialist state, aligning Seychelles with socialist countries like the Soviet Union and Tanzania. Under René's rule, Seychelles focused on education, healthcare, and economic reforms. Tourism and fisheries became the primary industries. However, political dissent was suppressed, with opposition leaders often arrested or exiled. By the late 1980s, global political changes, including the collapse of the Soviet Union, forced Seychelles to move toward democracy. In 1993, a new constitution allowed for multi-party elections, which René won. Modern Seychelles, 2000s present. In 2004, René retired and his vice president, James Michel, took over. Michel continued economic reforms, fostering tourism, foreign investment, and environmental protection. In 2016, a historic political shift occurred when Danny Four replaced Michel, and in 2020, Wavel Ramkalawan, an opposition leader, won the presidency, marking the first peaceful transfer of power in Seychelles' history. Today, Seychelles is one of Africa's most developed nations, with a high Human Development Index, HDI, strong environmental policies, and a thriving tourism-based economy. Conclusion. Seychelles' history is unique due to its late settlement, European colonization, and smooth transition to independence. From an uninhabited island chain to a prosperous democracy, Seychelles has built a stable and diverse society while preserving its rich cultural and natural heritage. Kindly share this post if you find value in it. Thanks for your support. You can watch this program on YouTube. P.S. In case you want to, feel free to reach out to me. If you need advice on your plans and ideas, and how to work on your gift and purpose, drop me a message here or email me at sopiansofgod@gmail.com. And we'll arrange a call. Will you like to write a book, share your story, ideas, or knowledge in a book? Now it's easier than ever. In 3 weeks, your book will be written and published. Send a message to bookmindsgmail.com.getbooks on Amazon. Amazon Books. Check out our website. Wordflix Publishers. Like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.